I'm Len Corcoran. In 1978, I went through a parenting program called STEP, Systematic Training for Effective Parenting. It was so effective, I used it not only then, but through the years right up to today. STEP is a program that works. It's almost miraculous in the effect it has on parents and their children. As a matter of fact, in 1 year period, I brought 3 families back together again using the STEP program. It's powerful. In my 50 years of training, I also found out what worked and what didn't. As an external consultant, what I offered to my clients either had to work or I'd lose a client. I've been director of training for 5 organizations, 5 companies. And again, if what I proposed didn't work, I'd be out of a job. In the last 10 years, I've worked on a book on the Beatitudes, and I found that what worked in training helped to explain the 9 Beatitudes. Not only the 9 Beatitudes, but the 9 Beatitudes were also developed by the STEP training program. The 2 match. So welcome. Welcome to Step Up to Parenting. I'm going to assume that you read the first 2 chapters in the booklet. First chapter, Step Up to Parenting, chapter 1, is about understanding yourself and your child. Let's start by combining this with the first Beatitude. The first Beatitude, as you know, is blessed are the poor in spirit, for they will experience the kingdom of heaven. As we think about what that Beatitude means, that we are poor in spirit, that we don't own anything, that everything we have comes from God. It's about our dependence on God. What we have, we possess to meet the needs of ourselves, our family, and those around us. And we do that through sharing. The family unit is our community, and we share within the community. You might say it's not about me, it's not about thee, but it's about we. We are concerned with Christ. As a family, we are concerned with Christ. The purpose for the child is to be a learner, and we teach them. Our challenge is to raise a confident, responsible child. Our challenge is to raise a confident, responsible child. One who follows the great commandment, love your God with all your heart, with all your mind, with all your soul, with all your strength, and to love your neighbor as yourself. As yourself. We do this by showing the child that he or she is lovable, unconditionally, not necessarily their behavior. We separate the child who we love unconditionally from the behavior. To do so, we walk the Beatitudes by doing the works of mercy in the community of the family. As you learned in your booklet, we do this with choices. With choices. We give the child choices so that they may learn. Because in fact, we all have choices. Adam had a choice. He chose wrongly. Jesus showed us the right choice. We teach the child this by providing them choices. From an early age, we can say, would you like the corn or the green beans? We can ask them to help us determine the menu. Whenever it's appropriate, give them choices. Help them identify their role and their gifts through identifying choices. Guide their behavior by giving feedback, encouragement, which we'll cover in chapter 3, and positive feedback and corrective feedback. We expect cooperation, and they expect cooperation from us. We do this by defining expectations, by saying what we expect from the child and giving reasons why we expect that. Giving them the right reason, the God-given reasons. We ask for their input when appropriate. We level with them. Even though a child, we don't talk to them as I'm up and you're down. We talk to them on the level. We expect their cooperation because we are open to it. Now, misbehavior has a purpose. The purpose is served if they don't get their needs met. You might say they select love in all the wrong places. If they don't get attention, they look for attention elsewhere. And that elsewhere, the misbehavior, we can relate to the strange gods: greed, fame, power, self-indulgence. Let's look at the first one, attention. Every child needs attention. Every human being needs attention, but especially children. They need attention as much as they need milk and food. But sometimes they enjoy that so much, they want more attention than is appropriate. Same with us, huh? Sometimes we eat snacks. That's okay, one or two. But sometimes we crave snacks that are inappropriate. We become addicted to them. Well, if the child becomes addicted to attention, remember, you can never get enough of what you want. We got to get them back to getting the attention that they need, giving the attention that others need. Restore them to a concern for Christ. And we'll do more on this in the next chapter. Another misbehavior is power. If you use the giving order styles of parenting, they may believe that's the way you interact with others. You order others. You tell them what to do. You specialize in the shoulds, the musts, the oughts. By giving them choices and involving them in decisions, you train them to put their power under control. And that is what the word meek means in the original Greek. Power under control. We want them all to have that power as they go about serving the Lord. To deal with the power, sometimes power, too much power, can lead to them wanting to get revenge. They seek the strange god of revenge. If we're hurt, we want to hurt others. Again, we need to change that. You know, at one time, spanking was thought to be an appropriate way to change behavior. Well, think about it. Spanking is hitting. Hitting hurts. We're sending the message that to change behaviors, you hurt people. And that's not the way of the Lord. There are more effective ways to manage behavior, which we will view on this course. Finally, they may seek inadequacy. Rather than cope with the other members of the family, they go off by themselves. They may feel safer when they're alone. So they develop a misbehavior of inadequacy and serve the strange gods of self-indulgence. In their isolation, they may choose drugs. alcohol, sloth. And of course, these don't bring them their sense of belonging. It only diminishes their self-confidence. Children need to be loved. They need to feel good about themselves. They need to feel that they belong. If you don't feel that, then you reach out for the strange gods to get that feeling of acceptance, of belonging. And what you as a parent do determines what they do. When you're faced with misbehavior, you need to change your behavior. Remember the acronym CHANGE. C stands for having the courage to risk responding differently to your child. The A stands for habits that you can form from positive patterns that will help them change the misbehavior into appropriate behavior. Accept the child unconditionally, but not necessarily their behavior. Whenever you have to speak to the child, speak to them first of all of how much you love them, of how much you accept them, and then express your concern about their behavior. Nurture the vision, the we goals of the family. We have goals. Every member of the family is working towards those goals. Mom, dad, stepdad, stepmom, grandma, grandpa, children, brother and sister. Everybody in the family forms the we. Now, when they do change from misbehavior back to appropriate behavior, grieve the loss. This teenager that comes off of drugs, they have to be empowered to follow their new course. But also remember that when they were taking the drugs, it served the purpose of giving them momentary relief. All of the strange gods are based on the premise of short-term gain, but long-term pain. Help them through that process. Help them understand that although they may be getting relief, they may be getting what they want now, there is a consequence down the road. And finally, encourage them. Encourage them to change. Encourage them to seek the long-term gain. Here's the formula. Read it, learn it, and do it. In terms of misbehavior, what did the child do? And how did you feel when they did that? Then you as a parent, what did you do in response to that feeling? And then what did they do? That's the formula. What did they do? How did you feel about it? What did you do according to that feeling? And what did they do in response to what you did? In the meantime, let's nurture every member of the we family, of the we community. Respect each other. Respect every other human. That's the essence of justice. Respect your teachers. Respect your parents. Respect your brothers and sisters. But also have fun. The virtue of temperance, balance. Put balance into the activities of the family. There you have my experiences with the Beatitudes in chapters 1 and chapter 2 in the STEP program. Read the booklet. Do the exercises at the end of the chapters. On the inappropriate behaviors, there's examples and there's ways to do things. Check the charts at the end of the chapter. Internalize these skills. You know, we're unconsciously competent to begin with. We don't know what we don't know. And a lot of parents who come into this course are in that position. And they explain that. They share that with us. But you go from consciously incompetent to reading the 2 chapters, watching this webinar, and then becoming consciously incompetent. You now know what you need to know. And then by working on the exercises on a daily basis, 24/7, by being consciously competent, slowly you mature and you internalize and you become unconsciously competent. Unconsciously competent. You do the right thing without any conscious thought. You are a child of God. Have a blessed week.